Let us look at one another problem. In this problem, we are supposed to calculate the tax using RMI. So let's go ahead and let's start the project. I'm going to go to the file, new project, and I'm going to select Java application. Let's click next, and you can give any name to the project, and I'm going to say income tax, or you can give anything. Okay, so this is my project where I have income tax R as my project. I'm going to add a interface now, so right click on it and then say new Java interface. So once you have the Java interface with you, let me wait for a while. So I have once you have the Java interface with it, I'm going to call this as iTax as my interface. Let me click next. So I have the interface with me. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is in order to make it remote, I'm going to extend it out of remote, which is from the java.rmi, and you need a import statement. So for this, let me write a method that's going to return the tax value. So I'm going to say compute tax, and it's going to take the salary and in order to make it remote, it may throw remote exception. Again, in order to make it remote exception, you need a import statement. You can just say java.star to avoid all the problems. So when you are writing it, you can just say java.star. Okay, so that will make it very simple. Now let me implement this inside a class. So I'm going to go to my projects. Again, if the project is not visible, go to file and click on go to window and click on project. You get the project. Let me right click on the package here, and I'm going to create a new Java class. I'm going to call it as iTax server. Then let me finish it off. You can give any name to that. Now in order to make it a server application, I will have to extend this from unicast remote object. So again, this is from rmi.server.unicast object. You can put star here. You can however put star at this point, but not before the server. Now that's not the end. It implements the iTax interface just I have created. Now let me create a constructor for this. So I'm going to say public iTax server. So I have the constructor, and I'm going to call the constructor of the base class, and when I do that, I have to say it throws remote exception. Okay. That's not the end of it. There is a method in this interface, and I have to implement that method. So I'll go back to my iTax server, and I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to say implement all. Click on this bulb and then click on implement all the abstract method. You do this way, not typing it on your own, because if you start typing it, you will make errors, and this will be very hard to correct. So always click on this one and let the NetBeans implement the abstract method for you. So this is the actual method. Now I don't need this throws new unsupported and so on and so forth. I'm going to remove this whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to remove this whole line there. Again, I have a issue with my mouse now. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one. Now let me implement this. Now I'm going to say if the salary is less than 10 lakhs. Okay, so this is 100, this is 1000, this is 10,000, this is 1 lakh, it is 10 lakhs. If it is less than 10 lakhs, then there is no salary. You can do any other calculation. Nobody has told you to do any specific type of calculation. You are supposed to calculate the salary, that's tax, that's what they have said. There is no specific implementation for this one, so you can do anything you please. So again, let me go with the salary. If the salary is less than, let me say, or equal to 25 lakhs, so this is 250, this is 2500, 25,000, 2 lakhs 50,000, 25 lakhs, then I am going to return, okay, whatever the salary was there. So salary minus 10 lakhs, so this is 100, this is going to be 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh into 0.1%. So 1% tax will be there. Otherwise, I'm going to return, okay, first the flat 15,000 because of the previous calculation. So because of that 15,000 I'm going to get it. Okay, this is less than that, then 15,000 plus whatever salary you have. Again, calculation of the salary is up to you. So this is 250, 2,500, 25,000, 2 lakhs 50,000, 25 lakhs into 0.2. Okay, this you can do any calculation. Nobody is saying anything about this. So this is how you create the server. Let me write a method to start the server. So I'm going to go here, right click on it and then say new Java class, and I'm going to say start server is my class, and in this class I'm going to first get the static void main method. Again, I will control space it. I am not writing something. Do not try to write this kind of method. Get it from the NetBeans. It is always safe. So I have the static void main method. First I'm going to get the instance of my server. That's the first thing I'm going to do. That is itax server. I'll get the itax server. Okay, I'll call it as it equal to new itax server. So I have it there. Now when I do it, it will ask you to throw a remote exception. I'm going to click on it, and again I'm clicking on this bulb, and again I'm asking NetBeans to do the needful things. I am not writing something on my own so as to avoid unnecessary errors. So I'm going to double click on this. NetBeans will write this throws exception and it will add a import statement for me. So this is done automatically so that you are very safe with your calculation. After this, I will have to go for the registry. So I will first search for registry from java.rmi.registry, and you notice that there is an import statement rmi registry.registry. I'm going to call it as reg equal to locate the registry. Locate the registry. Okay, so locate registry, and I'm going to put a dot, and I'm going to say create the registry at a particular port. Okay, and the port that I am taking is 1888. Now this, if this number, when you run this, if you get an error saying that the port is already being in use, then make it as 89. or 90 or anything. Okay, just change when you are running it. If you get an error saying that the port is already in use, change that number for something else. Generally that port is not used, but if it is used, I don't know, then change that port. Okay, once you have the registry with you, you need to go to the registry and then create then bind your server. I will call this as a tax server without space. Okay, and I'm going to bind my instance of my iTax server. So when you do it again, you will get an exception saying that throws already bound exception. Click on that and the NetBeans will add the throws already bound exception, as well as NetBeans will implement import a already bound exception. Now when you are writing it, if you notice that there are two things which are common here. Up to here these two things are common. That's the only thing. You can say RMI dot star and avoid these two lines. Other two lines, if you notice that this is common, you can say registry dot star and avoid the other line. So this is when you are writing it. Okay, not otherwise. Otherwise the NetBeans is doing its work, so we don't need to do anything about it. Now suppose if you come up to this point, that means your server is running. Just to give an information that the server is running, I will say server started. So that's all you need to do. Let me add one more method, one more class here, that is the client side. Now I'm going to go to my project, right click on it, and I'm going to say new Java class, and I'm going to say tax client or iTax client. You can take any name for that matter, iTax client. Again, in this iTax client, I'm going to get the static void main method. Again, control space it inside this class, control space it, and you get public static void main method. Double click on it, you get the public static void main method. First thing, let's go to the registry. So I'm going to go to the registry. So registry. Again, you notice that when I write the registry, import statement is added for me. Then I'm going to say registry, locate the registry, locate, I will write that thing, locate registry, and then I'm going to say get the registry, not the created, get the registry. Registry is already created by the server. Client is only getting the registry that was created by the server, and you need to write the port number. It is always advisable, go to the server code and you have written some number here, just copy it and paste it so as to avoid unnecessary errors of writing a wrong number there. So control say it and then get it and control paste it. So you know that this is the same number that you have typed there. Otherwise you will have other problem there of mismatch in the number. Now let me click on this bulb here and then say throws remote exception. So to the main it's going to add, so this main method is going to add that thing. So let me do that thing. Okay, click on here, double click on it, and then you say throws remote exception, and that remote exception import statement is also added. So you get the registry. Now let's go to the interface here, that is iTax is the interface that I have. So let's go to the interface. So I said iTax and I will call it as IT equal to then let me say registry and then I need to look up for my object. So I will look up for my object, and what is the name of my object that I have given there in my server script. If you look at the start server, here I gave the name as tax server. When I bound this thing, I gave the name as tax server. Select that, Control C, and paste it there. So this is the right way of doing it. Otherwise you will make a spelling mistake and you will spend the whole 3 hours trying to resolve what is going on. So get it from the code that you have already written so as to avoid unnecessary spelling mistake. Now let me click on this bulb and then cast it. So it's going to typecast it, and it's going to throw one more exception. You have the remote exception here, and one more exception it's going to throw, that is not bound exception. Click on it and you notice that not bound exception is being thrown, and you notice that it is also added that. Okay, again when you are writing, that is only when you are writing it, you notice that these two things are common. So you can say java.rmi.star and avoid this line. In the same way, you notice that these two things are common, so you can say java.rmi.star and avoid writing the other line. Okay, so this is just a help during the writing part. So once I have looked up for my server, let me create a variable double, and I'm going to say salary. Then I'm going to get the answer, let's say string answer is equal to y. Okay, then I will have do while loop there. So do while answer to lowercase, I will convert it into lowercase, and I will take the character at the 0th location. If it is equal to y, then you continue. Okay, otherwise you don't continue. This is a small case. I have already converted it into small case, so this must be in a small case. Now let me get a scanner object here because I need to input something. So scanner input equal to new scanner, and I'm going to say system dot in. So I got the scanner object. Now let me go into the do while loop here, and then let me say yes out, enter total salary or annual salary. Okay, I will remove this print ln so that it comes in the straight line. Okay, and then I'm going to say salary equal to, from the input I'll take next double. Okay, then I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say income tax is, and I will go to my method it, and I'm going to call this compute method, and then it means will do the needful things for me. So that's all you need to do, and then I'm going to say yes out. Do you want to continue? Okay, why or no? So I do this one. I'll use the print ln. Now remember, very important thing, because you have read the double, that enter sign is still there. So just to avoid that thing, go and read input dot read next line. So this you are doing it to avoid the enter sign being taken up by the next stage. So just read it twice, that's all. That is extra line you are adding just to clear that buffer. And then I have the answer is equal to input dot next line. That's all you need to do. If everything is working fine, your program should be working. Let's go to the server part now. Let's go to the server part now, and let me run that server part. So to run the server part, you just right click on the server part and then say run this class. If you get this method, that means you are safe, your server is running, and you must notice that the server is still running. Even if you exit the program, the server will be running. You have to manually close the server by clicking on this, okay, or this. Remember that server is always running. Close it, else you end up in trouble. So close it only after you complete the program, not before that. So let me go to the client side now. So I'm running the server first and then the client. Right click on it and then say run, and you get the annual salary. Let me say 35, 350, 3,500, 35,000, 3,50,000, 35 lakhs. Okay, so very large number. And the salary is something you get it, don't worry about it, nobody is going to ask a question. Press Y to continue. Again I'm going to say 5 lakhs. So this is 50, 500, 5,000, 50,000, 5 lakhs, and there must not be any salary. Press N and your program has stopped. However, very important thing, your server has not stopped. Very important thing, you have to stop the server. So go here and then click on this one and then say, do you want to stop it? Click yes. Thank you for your interest. I'm going to stop the video now.